Hi everyone, Carter Krishna here for the Kingfisher. Greenville Triumph, congratulations to them. 2-0 victory against Miami FC in the Jägermeister Cup. The match wasn't as close as the scoreline. And we've done a lot of videos this year after Miami FC got ripped by Indy 11, got ripped by Detroit, Tampa Bay, even worse, right? Tampa Bay getting bombed, I didn't do a video after the Orlando City game because I was so distraught about the match. But I made a 16-minute video after Tampa Bay got beat 3-0 by Rhode Island at home. Long videos after Tampa Bay got ripped to pieces by Charleston. And all of those defeats, right? The Loudoun game, which Tampa Bay were never really in, even though the scoreline was 2-1. And so I've made long videos after losses, breaking things down, talking about where things went wrong for either Tampa Bay or Miami FC, for the Rowdies or Miami FC, and done some of that for on the Super League side for Fort Lauderdale United and for the Tampa Bay Sun as well. This is going to be a very short video because there's nothing really to say about this performance. Greenville, credit to them. They had been playing very poorly in USL League One until the last few weeks. And I think what got them going was this Jägermeister Cup when they went to Charleston, when they went to Patriots Point and won 1-0. Today, completely the dominant side. The stats are very misleading, right? Miami FC, 64% possession to 36% for Greenville. This is why you throw out possession stats often. Let's see, Miami FC had more shots on target. Yeah, sure. But they couldn't finish those chances. Greenville seemed more in control. They were controlling the tempo of the match. Their midfield was very good. Some very familiar names in that Greenville Triumph midfield, right? Guys that have a lot of experience in terms of their time in USL Championship and USL League One. Chapa Herrera, a player I thought very highly of when he was in the Championship, dropped down to League One a season ago, has been good. Toby Sims, who hasn't had the best season for Greenville, right? Another player with a lot of experience, right? He was on a good Pittsburgh team a few years ago. He went to England and played for a few seasons in England and did quite well there. He had a good game. I felt like Connor Evans, who's a good young player, one of the better, really good young players on this Greenville team, was good. Tyler Polak, a player I'm very familiar with. He was on Miami FC when I worked for Miami FC in one of my previous stints with the club. He was dominant going down the left side, right, of Greenville's attack, overlapping runs, combination play, and they were just a superior side today. I mean, the finishing finally came for them in the second half, but Bonfilio didn't get good touches in the box again. He had 2 shots on target, probably the best chance of the game for Miami FC, but the keeper for Greenville, Torman, who is not their normal keeper and is a player that I had seen play only in Nisa previously. I had not seen him play the USL level. He was quite good. Made several outstanding saves and a couple really good ones when it was 0-0 and when it was 1-0. So while I'm saying Miami was not in the game, that was he was a big part of it. What went wrong for Miami FC really quickly? I think no Dalton Knutson today was a problem. And I do think when when Tulu gets back in a few weeks, I think the center back combination has to be Knutson, Tulu. Maybe you push Bolu back into midfield, or you play with a back three. The outside backs, Nico Cardona, really poor today. He played on the right in the first half. Tyler Polak was giving him all these problems. By the way, I know it's Polak because I was, not only did I work for Miami FC, I had to fill in as a broadcaster quite often in those days as well. And he actually corrected me. He went back and watched the match and said, it's Polak, it's not Pollock. So his last name is Polak, as Ross Davenport and the Greenville crew know well, right, from their coverage of him in USL League One. Great call for Ross today, by the way. South Florida resident, FAU grad. Great guy, great commentator. So enjoyed his call today. Jonathan Ricketts, really poor today. Bolu wasn't very good. Bill Hamid, obviously, makes some saves, also makes some mistakes. But it was all coming in front of him the whole time, right? There were so many defensive breakdowns, he was bound to make an error. The first goal was a goalkeeping error, but he had kept Miami FC, he had kept Greenville off the score sheet to that point with some good saves. I thought Mitrano was okay in the first half, but he got the hook again at halftime. Who was good for Miami FC? I think Sebastian Blanco was above average. I mean, not above his average, right? His mean is up here, so he was here. But, average is here, and the rest of the team was here. None of the guys who came off the bench made a tremendous impact. I thought Mikey Lawrence showed made some good moves very late after it was 2-0. Zarate gave us nothing, zilch. And maybe even less than zilch, quite frankly. And Verón, okay, but didn't really contribute much. Not quite sure why Alan Gavilanes got the hook at halftime. He didn't have a particularly good first half, but in a stretched match, he's a guy you want. And the match became stretched, and he could have played a role at that point. So I don't like that substitution from Gaston Mondone. I'm going to tell you what else I don't like from the coaching staff. This is a cup match. You have 30-plus players now on Miami FC. Miami FC has the deepest squad in the league in the USL Championship. Now, whether it's all quality depth or not, maybe the coaching staff has determined it's not quality depth because it's the same guys playing every week. And it's the same guys starting, and it's the same guys coming off the bench. It's Zarate, it's Lawrence, it's Verón. Same guys coming off the bench. Lawrence can't come off the bench next week because he got that kind of farcical red card against Detroit. Bad call, but he's out for the next match, which will force someone else onto the bench who maybe will take their moment. Kevin Hoyos, I haven't seen him in, I want to say in months. Have not seen him play. Have not seen Jimenez in a while. I'm not sure where the new signing Felipe Rodriguez. He dressed for a match. I'm not sure what he's. This is a different Felipe Rodriguez than the goalkeeper. There are two Felipe Rodriguez's on the team. I don't know where he is. Gerald Diaz, I don't know where he is. I could go on and on, right? I'm not going to name the whole roster, but there needs to be more rotation or the season's going to come apart pretty quickly. And this is another thing about management. If you have this big a squad and guys aren't playing, they're going to begin to sulk. So even though the team has gone fairly well in the USL Championship, they're sitting in a playoff position. They are now not in control of their own destiny in this cup. Now they're going to need to beat Tormenta in the final match and get some help. And they might be out actually by then because it depends what happens in the Tampa Bay FC Naples game on July 4th. If FC Naples wins, they're on 6 points. Miami would be on 5, and Greenville are on 6, and Tampa Bay would be on 4. Now, if Tampa Bay wins and they're on 7, the Miami's in big trouble. If Tampa Bay even gets 2 points. And Naples gets 1, permutation. Tampa Bay has to go to Charleston for the final match, so that maybe they're in trouble anyway. And they were very fortunate to beat Tormenta at home. But Greenville is in the pole position now, and I think Naples. I think Naples has a very good chance of beating Tampa Bay next week. So I mean, you're looking at a situation where. The Greenville-Naples match on the final match day could determine who goes through from this group. And if there is a best second-place team, it might be the loser of that match. So the USL Championship teams could be out of luck. And based on the way Charleston approached those first 2 matches, based on the way Miami FC played tonight, and based on the way Tampa Bay played against Tormenta, even though they won, the USL Championship team should probably be out in this group, right? I think the League One teams have played very well, Greenville and Naples, particularly in Tormenta. They stayed in the game against Charleston tonight for a while, and they played well against Tampa Bay, and they won that first match against Greenville. So that's the beauty of the cup. That's why this cup is fun. But for Miami FC, a lot of questions to be answered. It's going to be a pretty critical week because Miami FC now plays Tulsa, who is one of the better teams in the league this season. And at home, Miami FC tends to play to the level of competition, so knowing the way they are, they'll probably win that match. Then they play Lexington, who's come good the last few weeks. So critical 2 matches ahead of them before they play the bulk of the rest of their season away from home. So I think it's critical 2 matches against 2 teams that are in form. Let's see what happens, but not a good result tonight and not a good performance, an embarrassing performance, quite frankly.